Hi, welcome to Room to Grieve podcast. We're your hosts, Karen and Bec. Grab yourself a cuppa, find a comfortable spot, and we'll journey through grief together.
So, hi, welcome back. I'm Bec.
Hi, I'm Karen. Sounds really cheesy that when you have to say our names.
It does. It's really awkward, isn't it?
Yeah.
But we realise that for those of you that are listening on Spotify and Apple and all the rest of it, and, you know, we just assume that it's only our friends and family that listen to this, but actually we've gained a bit of an audience. So we thought we'd actually let you know which voice is which. So, yeah, the northern one's Karen and the other one's me. I'm the one that swears a lot. I'm Bec.
Yeah, you're the posh one, though. You're a posh swearer.
Oh, am I?
Yeah, I think you're posh.
Oh.
My mum always says, oh, she does sound lovely. She does sound clever. Meaning what?
Oh.
She went, well,
I was about to say, oh, yeah.
You're just you. You know, and I said, oh, thank you, Mum.
Was it just like an underhand compliment of what they say just to make your mum tell you that you don't sound posh and you don't sound clever?
It was to get in my head.
Yeah.
It wound me up for a whole night, that.
I bet it did.
Yeah,
With your competitive nature, I bet it did. I did see, though, and I had to answer it. I know you do all the comments online and on YouTube and stuff. Oh. That's your little job. But I did see the one that came in, I think it was last week or this week. I really can't remember. And somebody said how brilliant and intelligent you are. And I thought, I'm sorry, I've read that comment before you. I'm going to have to answer this. And I think I told the woman to stop giving you a big head. But I was like, she's going to love that.
No, it's a lovely lady from Australia. And she didn't say I was intelligent. She said I was clever.
That's right. You were clever.
Clever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've had it blown up and put on my wall.
I bet you have as well.
Because, do you know what? It's really weird. It was nice, actually, that because I'm working full-time at the moment, and I do not know how you have been doing it.
I'm going to say welcome to the world.
Yeah. I know I've been a princess. Yeah, I've been a princess griever. That's what my husband and Bec calls me, behind my back. Did hear them say it. But, yes, full-time, very full-time, long days. And yeah. I just feel like I've lost everything. I've lost my confidence. I've lost my ability to do very simple tasks. Even we have job cards, which I have to write down everything that's been done on a vehicle and add it up. And I'm adding it up about 4 or 5 times because I'm doubting myself. I'm doubting my ability. Even when I'm ringing up to speak to a customer, I'm like practicing before I do it. And that's not me.
Yeah. Do you think find everything slow? I just find that my reactions are a lot slower. My brain's a lot slower. And then that frustration kicks in. I think it was when we came to your house last Friday and I rang you, didn't I, before I came? I logged off after a meeting. I made myself cry, for God's sake. I sat in a meeting, and a meeting that, you know, I do every day in my job, with discussions, talking about things that we do every day, discussing details on a paper that I'd written. And they sat in the meeting, and I didn't really expect to join it. I thought it was going to be held at a bit of a higher level, but seniors asked me to join, which is fine. And I just thought I was going to sit in the background. But I went prepared. I researched everything that I'd written. I knew the answers. And then I was thrown a bit in the spotlight and said, Rebecca, do you want to lead? And then I had to tell them what we were there for. And I forgot. I forgot everything. And then the more I started to panic, the more I forgot. And then I could feel the redness rising in my face. And I don't do embarrassment. I don't do red. So then the panic kicked in. And then I don't even know what I said. I blagged the shit out of it. I just waffled a load of crap. And then somebody asked me a question, and all I could hear was meh, 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 meh. And the more I listened, the more it was just meh, 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 meh. And then they said, do you want to answer, Rebecca? And you think, no, I haven't got a clue what he just said. And no amount of listening would let me hear. And I just thought, oh my God, my brain stopped. What do I do? So I blagged this whole meeting anyway, hung up from the meeting and just said, I'm not working for the rest of the day, and cried. How pathetic is that?
It's not pathetic. It's normal.
Just so hard.
Yeah, I know. I was ringing up for parts, and you obviously use the phonetic alphabet, and I forgot what P was.
What did you say for piss my pants?
Just pull the phone down.
You could have thought of something.
I could not think of any word beginning with P.
Yeah, no, I get it.
So I just I rang back up. Oh, I don't know what happened there.
Had you Googled what starts with P?
Phonetic alphabet. So I've decided it's going right back to day one when we had coping techniques. I know that's a big word to use for them. They're not coping techniques as such. It's just things that get us through another day. You know, like you think, oh, that helped there. I'll do that again. It's like my key has to be on a lanyard or else I will not find my key. Simple as that.
Do you know what? The first time I came to your house and you had that little lanyard on with your keys hanging on the end of it, I thought, what a fantastic thing.
Yeah.
Because, I've been the same as you, forgetting my purse, my bank card, my money and my keys, to the point that I've been banned from taking a bank card anywhere. I'm not allowed. Car keys have to go in my pocket. When I got my new car just now, I had to have a keyless start so that the keys go in my pocket, don't come out, so I can't lose them. And money, I'm not allowed any because I just forget. I just can't do it. Keep putting it down and losing it. I've gone through 3 sets of bank cards this year.
I forgot what I was going to say now because you waffle that much.
Yeah, right. Never mind.
What was I saying?
That you keep forgetting things.
Right. I have printed off the phonetic alphabet, so that won't happen again. So I've realised that there is an issue with that, so I've dealt with it, and it's on the wall in front of me. So when I ring, I can just look and get it.
That's good, though.
No, what isn't good is that I keep taking everybody's car registration numbers down wrong. So these vehicles, I get them right, do my phonetic alphabet, and they go, do you want to just check that again? I'm thinking, oh, God, it's not going to be right, is it? It's like, yes, I'll just check with the customer. And it's never right. It's me. I mean, the customer knows their own reg number, don't they?
Do you think it's a bit to do with, like, I think it was what John was saying in this week's podcast, that he was saying that you have that jar with that tolerance and, everything's just spilling over because it's too much and we just don't have the tolerance at the minute, like for other stuff and for anywhere for it to go. Yeah, Simon's really struggling. His tolerance is minimal.
Yeah.
He woke up, obviously he works nights. He just got up this afternoon about midday because he doesn't work on a Friday night. So he gets up early to have the day. And I said, do you want some lunch? And he said, stop asking me questions. I said, I just wondered if you wanted some lunch. He was like, seriously, stop asking me questions. I was like, okay. I was like, do you want me to just make you some? And he was like, just
you
stop.
Didn't stop. Well, why did you carry on?
Yeah,
why do you have to go in for the kill?
Because I just couldn't understand why it was so difficult to know if you wanted
just
lunch.
Listen to what he's saying. Stop asking his questions. Right, okay then. End of.
Yeah. Well, then I did. So then I didn't make him lunch. So I didn't make him any.
Yeah, well, he told you.
Yeah, but then he came in and went, well, that smells nice. Where's mine? I said, well, you didn't answer me.
Yeah, just say, stop talking to me. I'm not taking questions at the moment. And carry on eating your lunch. But yeah, it is nice actually. Yeah, it's lovely.
It was fucking lovely. But yeah, he's really struggling with tolerance and stuff at the minute. So
yeah, whether
that's just, I don't know, whether it's another thing that ebbs and flows. But I can imagine for you going back to work that there's just, and full time, and it's not like you've kind of eased your way into it. It's not like you've done a few hours here and there. You've gone from 0 to 100, haven't you?
Yeah. It's. I mean, I have been working as and when required. I've not been sat on my backside, so I have sort of.
But it's not been every day.
But it's not been. I've not had to go in. Yeah. I have chosen when to go in and support Rob and help Lynn in the office. I have chosen that, and I can go at any time I want to. Now I can. I'm there, and I'm there on my own. And I know Lynn's had a lung surgery now, but within a day, I was still texting her and ringing her.
You're terrible, and you tell me I'm bad.
Yeah, no, but she's bored. It's company.
Is she?
Yeah, it's company.
It's not that she's recovering and a little bit tired and...
she'll be right. She's a northerner.
She's hard.
We're hard.
Yeah, actually, you northerners are hard. My walking was hard, wasn't it, on Saturday? Fucking hell, but I did it.
Stop swearing.
Sorry. But I did it. Did 5 miles, walked with Karen and Rob, Simon and I did with Ruben's Retreat with a load of other bereaved parents. And the email said, easy, flat walk.
It was flat.
Was it flat?
It's flat for us.
I mean, some of the hills I wanted to walk up backwards. It was not flat.
Tell you what, you need to stop going on about that because you did bloody brilliant, right?
Yeah, I was proud of myself.
Yeah, I know you couldn't walk and talk when you was going uphill, but for God's sake, when I first met you, how much you've come on with your walking.
Yeah, I do feel proud of myself. Yeah, the bottom of every hill, I did have to say, right, stop talking now. I'll talk again when I get to the top. And that last hill, I genuinely thought I was going to pass out, but we were at the end. So that was obviously my capacity reached. But I'm so proud of myself.
Yeah, I think you'd have got a bit further.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, I do.
I look like
because
your
recovery is so brilliant. It's all about recovery. When you get to the top of the hill and you can't breathe, how quickly you was recovering. Yeah, you could have easily done further.
Didn't feel like it.
It was good, wasn't it? Did you enjoy it? Yeah?
Yeah.
Some lovely, lovely people that go.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just nice. And, you know, we did talk about the kids, but it wasn't all about the kids. You know, it was just nice it was beautiful scenery and it was just nice to be out and about, you know, a couple of hours of just something different and just being a bit calmer, I think. Yeah, that was really nice. And then on the Sunday, you and I went to Rainbow Trust.
Yeah, that was a nice afternoon.
Yeah, that was really nice. We did some crafting.
Just butt in there. We was actually going to go to church on the Sunday morning because there was light a candle service, and my friend Sue, or our friend Sue, was going to come with us, but we had a slight issue, didn't we? The next morning, Sue was still drunk.
Yeah, bless her. I'm not surprised. Karen, I mean, we didn't really drink, did we?
We didn't, no.
But Sue drank for all three of us, I think. She was hilarious.
She is such a good drunk that she thinks she's having singles, but she's having doubles because she is the entertainment. She is brilliant.
It's hilarious. Yeah, it was a really good night. It was really nice.
One for the road was 5. Was it 5 for the road?
At least 5. 3 hours and at least 5 drinks, at least. Yeah, even when the taxi turned up, she was still like, another one for the road.
Yeah, she took a glass into the taxi.
She did. She did. That was so funny, bless her. So yeah, we missed the candlelight service because Sue was going to take us, and obviously that wasn't safe, so we didn't do that. You and I did some stuff on the charity application and that instead, didn't we?
Yes.
Which
don't even mention it. Yeah.
I want to say, don't even talk about that. Then we went to the Rainbow Trust and we did some crafting, and I made the most girly looking candle holder for Bradley, which he wouldn't appreciate in the slightest, but it was pretty. We let off some balloons.
It was hilarious. We didn't know there'd be crafting involved. And to sit and watch Bec with pens and stickers and putting like shiny things on things, it was hilarious. I mean, there was a lovely service. And,
it was. I cried a lot.
We did cry when the little girl cried. Who'd lost her sister. And when she started crying, I think that set us off.
Yes.
Yeah. It was nice though. The balloons ceremony was lovely. And
it was all just nice.
It was just nice.
Yeah. It's just nice to have those opportunities to be able to openly just go and remember and celebrate the kids for no reason and like not have to justify anything or, you know, just worry about anything. It was just nice, wasn't it? And we met some lovely people and, you know, talking with other mums and just saying that, you know, how nice it is to be with other people who get it. and have those conversations.
Yeah.
So we had quite a busy weekend, really, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. We fit a lot into the weekend, as usual.
So we always do, don't we?
Yeah.
But yeah,
so going
right.
back to what you was talking about last week's speaking with John, and I know we discussed EMDR, and I didn't know whether you'd want to carry on with that, and sort of if you wanted me to share a couple of my sessions and sort of a little bit more into detail about it, because we didn't.
Yeah, because it's not something I've ever done. So yeah, I'm all ears.
Yeah, well, I had 3 lots of trauma that obviously had a lot more than 3, but in 2.5 years. But there was 3 main things. I can't speak about the first one that we dealt with. I can talk about it now, but I'm not ready to share it yet. And that is the day she actually died. I can talk about it, but it is still upsetting. Like he said, you can take it from a level 10 being the worst reaction to 0, and you will never get something like that as being at 0, never. And I'm still working on that. Probably at about a 3. I could talk about
good.
it. Yeah, I'm pleased with that. I'm pleased. I'm absolutely pleased.
Because John said he would only expect you to be at about a 2 or something, I think he said. So that's good.
Yeah. I'm competitive. Need to get to 0.
Okay.
No, but there's 2 other issues which were still traumatic. That to me felt very traumatic. I thought I'll share one of those. And the trauma was actually seeing her in a coffin. And I'm probably sure that people can identify with that, and not just your children, anybody, your loved one in a coffin is a difficult image to bring up. And I think the first day that I went, and I took it, my husband was with us, and Emily's best friend, Elenia, and we was going to do Emily's makeup. Emily loved gothic makeup, and she loved having the spider's webs on her eyes, and she loved black lipstick. That was the arguments we had over black lipstick. So we was going to finish her makeup off. The undertakers had done the base, and we was just going to make her look more Emily. So obviously you've got the initial walking in and seeing your person there. It was surreal. It was like he wasn't actually there. And my husband, he just collapsed. He was on the sofa and he just collapsed. He was very, very upset. And I thought, right, I've got to be strong. Got to be strong for him, and I've got to be strong for Elenia. And being left-handed, I couldn't get in to do her eyes, and I was trying to put the eyeliner on and do it neat, and I was shaking, and I just couldn't get in. And I didn't want to leave. I was scared of leaning over, and Elenia just went, I'll do it. And she did it. The thing that I was upset about that caused the trauma was how she actually looked. And not just because it didn't look like Emily, because of the drugs and what it had done to her face. It was the colour, how white she was, almost like pearlescent. Translucent. And
yeah,
her hair, with the hair being so black, she always had full hair. And it was flat to her head, so it didn't look like her. It looked like it had been straightened. It was very glossy. It's never been glossy. She's a dirty bugger. She didn't wash her hair. She very rarely brushed it. And it was just, didn't look like her.
Yeah.
It was wrong. And she was in a black gothic gown, and it was red satin round, and she was holding her red roses that I'd sent. And I thought, it's just not right. It's not the right image. And it really, really upset me. And then, so I had the EMDR about that. I did go back because I found a necklace, and I wanted to have a necklace, and I wanted to go back. So I went with my sister-in-law, Emily, and then I said, right, I want to be on my own with her now. And I sat and I chatted with her, and I was okay then, because it was a couple of days later. It felt like some of the swelling had gone down a bit, and her face was a bit more like Emily. And we had a good chat, and I gave her a list of demands, contacting me and passwords, and just a chat. I felt a little bit better, but I kept coming back of this image that wasn't right. And so I had the EMDR, and the things that come out of that, how they changed my opinion, and how they took the trauma away, was brilliant. Because, very long story short, because this took quite a few sessions to get to the stage that I'm going to describe now, basically said, what would Emily have thought of that image? And because I said the Undertakers, the lady who owns the Undertakers, knew Emily. She knew her character, and she's a family friend. And so that's why I didn't want to say I don't like how she looks, because I didn't want to offend her. But I was right not to say anything, because once I'd had my EMDR and everything that come out, and when we spoke about everything in fine detail, and the whole thing of it, when John said to me, what would Emily have thought about the image that you are looking at now of her in a coffin? She'd have bloody loved it. It was just like an image out of a Tim Burton film. It was her favourite movie director. She loved everything gothic and horror and gory, and she looked just the part with the satin and the black and the hair. And I thought she always wanted to have her hair straight, but wouldn't bother doing it. And she had straight hair. Her makeup was perfect. They'd done her nails beautiful. Her hands, she had the most beautiful hands in the world. They were so delicate and beautiful, and the long black nails were holding these red roses. And bright red satin against the black. She loved black and red roses. We used to spray the roses. She had them sprayed for black flowers for a funeral. And she would have loved that image.
Yeah.
And that took a few weeks to get that into my head. And I can actually recall that image now and not get upset.
That's good.
At the beginning, I'd have hot flushes. I'd be, why didn't I speak to somebody? Why didn't I change? Why didn't I ask them to change it? But they knew Emily, and they got it to absolute perfection. Because at the end of the day, no matter what image you saw, it would always be a trauma.
Yeah.
But that was just one thing that I had.
So in terms of the actual EMDR, so what does he do? Just ask you to like sit quietly and think of something, and he does tapping, or how does it?
Yeah, he puts you in like a safe place first, where you go to a safe place, you calm, and you have this like in calm this, calm that, and you're just in a different zone, and then you bring forward the trauma, and you describe what you're seeing, and then you've got to follow his hand, and you've got to do that. If your eyes follow it, and then he'll say, right, what do you see now? And what is it that you're not happy with? And why you're not happy with it? It's only like going over it in my terms, which is not professional terms, in any shape or form. But because I have said to you in the past when he was doing it once, and he's saying, "What do you think now?" And I said, "I'm worried." He said, "What are you worried about?" "Really, really worried." And he said, "What is it?" And I went, "Your arm's going to start hurting doing that." And he went, "Right, you're not in the zone. Right? You shouldn't be worried about that." But I was.
Yeah.
So
no, it's interesting.
you just have to relax, and you have to be honest, and you have to bring these thoughts, as difficult as they are, forward, because that would have eaten away at me.
Yeah.
Over the next few years, I would have, and it's now, it's like it's dealt with.
Yeah.
Still sad.
Yeah. But I didn't go and see Bradley. That was a conscious choice that I made, because I've only ever done it once before with my stepdad, and I think I went in there expecting him to look like him, and like you say, he wasn't a very polished guy, lovely guy, kindest man you've ever met, but he was a scruffy fucker, like really scruffy. Yeah, like he looked homeless almost, but that was his choice, And then he looked like polish, like he'd turned up to some 1950s, ball where only the regal were allowed in, and his hair was all slicked back, and he just, that took my breath away. And I remember thinking, and I don't know if this is too much to say, but I remember thinking he looked like fucking Dracula, like laying there, and when you think, oh, I can't do this is a bit fucked up. And I left the room.
Be laughing and things like this.
No. And I left the room, and I remember my mum standing there going, "Doesn't he look lovely?" And I was thinking, "Get me out of here. Get me out of here." No, he doesn't. And my mum kept saying, "You go back in," and you think, am I fucked? So then when Bradley died, before Bradley died, his skin started to change that translucent colour, and he started to go all waxy before he died. And then when he died, he very much looked the perfect complexion. He just looked very peaceful, and his swelling had started to go down, and he didn't look quite so poorly. And he looked, because he'd been quite so agitated in the hospice, and he'd been unable to get comfortable, that we got to spend, I think I said, 9 hours with him in the hospice before the undertakers came to take him to the funeral parlour. And the hospice staff had laid him down, and he was laying flat, and he'd not been able to lay flat for weeks because, the pain in his head, and he'd been so poorly. And he just looked so comfortable that I didn't want to ruin that, and I didn't want to replace that with a Dracula image that I was... Yeah. That's my trauma from seeing Jim, and I was petrified that that's what I was going to see with Bradley. So I didn't go, but I do now carry a bit of guilt that I never went, and I left him there for those 10 days in between when he died and when his funeral was, and I never went. But I don't think there's any right or wrong, is there?
No, there isn't any right or wrong. We'll always find guilt for something.
Yeah.
So it may as well be that.
So I had no idea what Buddy looked like. I know what I sent him to wear and stuff like that, but it is what it is. But it's interesting with the EMDR. My mind struggles to see how just a finger can reprogram.
Yeah, well, that would, because you look too deep into it. So you just got to sit there and, right, okay, follow his finger. That's what I've got to do. And it works, because the other thing was, the other trauma, it's like your judgment's clouded, and afterwards I think you sit and think, did I do this right? Did I do that right? And you did. And if you ask your family that, and your friends, will say, what more could you have done? But then I started to doubt myself. Should I have told her? Might she have wanted to have said something to me that was important to her? And should I have told her that she was going to die? And I know that you said to me that was the worst part of everything, of having to tell Bradley. And I know the professionals around me said I was making the right decision. After I'd said it, they said they can't tell me what to do, but they'll support me in that decision, and they thought it was right. I know all that, but I still set a seed of doubt in my head. And for the last few months, it's been growing and growing and growing. And I'm thinking, I should have told her.
No, because
I've not finished yet.
Oh, go on.
So I had the EMDR, right? And the things that come up that you forgot that come out that's in you. Yeah.
Okay.
So it took a full session, and I recalled a conversation that I had with Emily.
Interesting.
And she said to me, she said, I think they're telling us lies, Mum. I don't think I'm going to get better. And I said to her, okay, well, your trial drug has only been in so many months, and we do know that it can take 6 to 9 months, which I did change that. And she said, Mum, I think they're lying. I went, okay, would you like me to ask them? And she said, no. And she said, then the day after, she said, you know what we was talking about? And I said, yeah. I said, would you like me to ask them? She said, no, I still don't want you to ask them. Fucking listen to me. They were her exact words. She said, I just want you in the room all the time, other than when you go into the toilet. And I went, that's fine. And that's what I'll do.
And that's what you did.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
So having that, I'd forgot that conversation. I'd forgot it totally.
It's amazing.
Because there were so many things going on, and it was clear as a bell, that conversation in my head. And if she'd have wanted to have known, if she'd have wanted confirmation, she would have told me at that point.
Yeah.
So all that was going on in my head, all that seed that was growing and giving me negativity, just went.
That's really good. That's so clever in how it can find those lost thoughts.
Yeah, just things that you've, because your head is so messed up, you're all muddled, you've got emotions, you've got guilt, you've got anger, you're just so bloody sad that, yeah, you do miss some things, but it's there, it's still in your head. And if that can
your
be
brain
recalled
goes into like
to help
a protective mode, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How clever.
So I do.
The mind fascinates me.
Especially when you open yourself up to other possibilities and people being able to help you.
Yes.
It's not saying that you don't, but you don't.
I do it on my terms.
Not pointing any fingers at anybody, but...
Clever.
Yeah, it is clever. Like I am, that somebody said I am.
Yeah,
Go back to the clever word. I wish I was.
I did tell the woman not to tell you again, otherwise your head wouldn't fit through a doorway.
Oh, she's lovely. She's very nice. She has sent us some nice comments. I was thinking of people comment, it's nice to know where you're from and to put which country.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Because the analytics say that the majority of our listeners are UK, closely followed by Australia, and then Canada and Russia. Really randomly, Russia and Netherlands. Yeah,
and America. Don't forget America.
Yeah, it's amazing how far and wide it all reaches, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah, that is. It is. We've not spoke so much this week, so I found that I've had a really low tolerance this week, and I don't know whether that's just because you and I haven't spoken too much because you've been working more, so like rude of you, you're not so available.
I know, it's very... It's not on, is it, really?
No, it really isn't. I said that to Rob when we were walking on Saturday. He said something about, well, do you and Karen text a lot during the day? I was like, yeah, but I can tell when you've got her into the office. He was like, why? I was like, because she goes quiet. And he was like, what do you mean? And I was like, well, on the days when she's not in the office, I was like, she texts me all morning. I was like, the days when she's in the office, I don't hear from her at all. And he was like, that's interesting. I said, yeah. But yeah, we've not spoken so much this week, and yeah, I've got really low tolerance. I don't know whether it's because I've started trying to be really good again with my eating and my exercise and all the rest of it, to try and help with the menopause and the grief and the high cortisol and all of that, to see whether that makes a difference in my food and my exercise. And I'm not going to lie, the strengthening exercises that I've been given, because with menopause, it's all about your muscles and high protein and all the rest of it.
Is the menopause why I've got a great big fat tummy then?
No, that's cortisol. That's the trauma. That's the grief.
I just thought it's because I was a fat fucker and I like cake.
No. Signs and symptoms of high cortisol levels, which is you get high cortisol levels when you're grieving trauma and you're stuck in flight, fight and freeze in that survival mode, is your body holds on to fat, and primarily it puts it around your stomach and your face because it protects all of your organs, because it puts you in survival mode to survive the threat that you are constantly faced with. And then obviously, as we know, with trauma and with grief and all the rest of it, you never come down from that flight, fight or freeze. So you stay in a constant state of alert all of the time. And so the more alert you are and the higher levels of cortisol you are, the more your body's going to store fat because it's going to try and protect you. So that's why this whole thing of the mindfulness, the meditation, the sitting quietly, the going outside. When you walk and you go outside and you're walking calmly and you're breathing calmly in the air, that's sending signals to your brain that it's safe now. And so then that lowers your cortisol levels. So then, that's why you have to do all this mindfulness and keep your body thinking that it's safe. But then obviously when we have those real high griefy days, that puts our cortisol levels back up. So it's kind of all trying to deal with all of that anyway. So trying to do all these strengthening exercises, and they're so hard. Like you
have to send me them.
I am incredibly unfit.
Is this something you paid for?
No, it's a lady on the internet. It's awful. I can't remember her name. She's a menopause coach.
It's Grieve, so I can't remember her name.
I can't even remember her name, let alone her Instagram name. And I talk to her every bloody day. I can remember her surname. It's Pistor, but I can't remember her name. So anyway, I'm digressing. And she sent me all of these exercises that are supposed to help with this grief. And they're basically stretches. They're nothing more than that. There's nothing high impact or anything like that about them. I can't even get my ass on the floor to even get into a plank, to even lift myself up. And then one of them, you just have to
video it. I think
honestly, it's horrific. One of them, you literally just have to lay like a starfish on the floor, right? And then just lift your arms and your legs up at the same time. Can't get mine off the floor. Can't get my floor because I'm so fucking unfit. So literally, I just can't do it. I don't have the strength. I do not have the strength in my arms, legs, or my core to do it because I've been such a lazy fucker. So I've literally cried. I've just cried.
Well, that's not going to help it. Just get on with it and do.
She sent this message in this chat this thing we're doing yesterday, and she was like, "So has everybody noticed that all this exercise is really giving them motivation and making their brain work?" I wrote back, "No." And I was like, sorry if that's not what you want to hear, but no, you have totally ruined my motivation. You've totally just I've done nothing but cry all week because I'm a fat fucker that can't do it. It's too hard. So I've literally cried all week because I can't even fucking lay on the floor and get back up again.
Right. Well, if you video it and you share it with us all,
it would just be for comedy value.
That's what and cheer us up.
Honestly, it's horrific. Absolutely horrific. And then my protein goals are 202 grams of protein every single day.
Oh, I just have 10 protein shakes.
Yeah. But then somebody that's got a bit of a dairy intolerance, I couldn't.
I don't have dairy. I don't have dairy with it.
Do you have it with water?
I have it with water and frozen fruit.
Oh, okay. But then there's no other nutrients in that. So where's the rest of my nutrients coming from?
They're all in the powder. It's got a list of all your nutrients, and then I have that other stuff that makes you supposed to make your hair grow, but that's not working.
So yeah. So all this healthy eating and all this that's supposed to change my mindset has made me do nothing but cry this week.
Right. Well, I bet you'll be able to do a little bit more. If you do it every day, are you still doing it every day, even though you can't do it, or do you just try it once?
Yeah,
right?
No. For a quitter, I'm still in. 5 days later, I've not quit.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I want this, though. That's a difference. I want it really badly. And I think that's why I'm crying. It's frustration. I'm so frustrated.
It's not that you want it. You want to be at Olympic standard within a week.
Exactly that. Yeah. I was going to say, me, I'm all or nothing, and I want instant wins. And it's, I'm not, I don't normally do this in for the long haul. And, I either do something or I don't. And I'm not very good at this. So, yeah, it's highly frustrating. She wants me to walk an average minimum of 8,000 steps a day, maximum of 12. So I've got to double my step count. So that's kind of where I'm supposed to sit, I think. I don't really know. It's all to do with the amount of protein I'm eating is right for repairing my muscles or something. So if I end up doing too much, then I'm going to have to increase my protein intake because the strain on my muscles is going to be higher. It's all a little bit scientific.
I don't think you're going to end up doing too much.
No, I don't think there's any fear of that either. I don't have the time. I don't know how to fit in 12,000 steps in a day. She's like, oh, I just walk. And you think, well, you obviously don't work in an office.
No. So you told me when you was
your Instagram while you're walking around a fucking field. That's how you get paid. Like, I can't do my job walking around a field.
I just got pitchy and now being chased in a bull. By a bull in a field. You bloody do
I wouldn't
it
run
then.
though. I'd just stand there and when they say when a bear comes at you, you just stand still and you freeze and hope that it can't seize you. That's the entire tack that I would go with if I got charged at by a bull.
Yeah. So I texted you the other day and I said that I'd ran from the car to my appointment.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I had a hospital appointment. It's like 7 miles away from where I live, and it was an hour and 15 minutes to get there in the traffic. So
Crazy.
I was late. So I parked and I texted Bec and I said, I've ran from the car up the hill to the hospital and wet myself.
Then you were like, I bet you'd have done it. I bet you wouldn't have wet yourself. And I was like, I wouldn't have ran.
because I wouldn't have run. That's what you said.
I'd have just rang him and said, sorry, can we do it another day, please?
Well, there was no... I tell you what, I had my grief head on. I went into that and my face must have said it all, because I was late. And I thought, just you tell me that you are not going to see me now. And I thought, I'll be in the Manchester News. Yeah, I dare you. I bloody dare you. The hospitals that I have sat for hours and hours and hours. What was it, 18 hours with my terminally ill daughter? You made us wait in A&E. I thought, just you. I was like, come on, tell me that you're not going to see me. Anyway, they did. So I had a camera up my nose, both sides, and a camera down my throat. And then they said, right, you need to go for a CT scan. Oh, right, okay. So I got to the scan. They rang me later the day. Can you come back today and have a scan? So I said, right, okay. So I got to the place. It was a private place. It was really posh. And she said, oh, have you ever had a scan before? I used to scans. I went, I'm very used to scans. I said, my daughter died last year of a brain tumour. I'm very used to scans. And she went, oh. Is that it? Oh. It's a total amount of empathy.
Did you take any leaflets?
No, I didn't.
Well, you failed there and all, didn't you?
I did to the hospital and I left them on the Macmillan stand.
Do you find, though, like, that's really triggering to go for scans and stuff? Because I know that even when you text me and said, or you rang me, I can't remember, and you said, I'm going for a scan and I'm going today, like, my mind goes, fuck, shit and bollocks. Like, it's instant, this is worst case scenario, like, my mind runs away with me.
I've always been worst case scenario, and the only time I wasn't is when I took Emily for a scan, and it was the ultimate worst case scenario.
Yeah.
And because we were sat there, oh God, we'll go to McDonald's in a bit. We'll go to, we'll do this, we'll do that. She'll be nothing, like moaning that was waiting so long, and then that happened. It can't be like that again. So no, I'm quite, I'm thinking, do you know what? If it is, it is.
Yeah.
If it is, it is. It's whatever it is, whatever they're looking for on the scan. If it's there, and I'll deal with it accordingly. And the competitiveness in me means that I'll get to see our kids again before you.
Yeah, do you know what? That's exactly what goes through my head. Is fucking bitch. That's really sad. Yeah, I don't know. Does everybody do that?
Should you really be thinking that way? I'm thinking, oh, get one up on Becky. She can't answer me back then.
But yeah, that went through my head too. Have they said when they'll let you know?
No, I didn't ask. I just went bye. She didn't even ask her name.
Yeah, well, she didn't cry enough, did she? So we weren't interested in her name.
She didn't deserve listening.
That's what
about
Sydney
her.
said.
Yeah, no, that's what Sydney
said.
What Sydney says now, that your daughter Sydney, and so that is my new thing now, to see if anybody deserves it. I've got to admit, I've been a little bit naughty this week, and every customer that's been in has had one of our podcast leaflets and been given the full story.
Do you know what? You've told us that twice already.
Have I?
Yes. You really are struggling with your brain today. Yeah. You watch it back, you'll see. One of them might have been before we started recording, but you've definitely said it once on the recording.
That's it, losing it.
Yeah, you are.
Losing it, lost it. Yeah.
Are you sleeping better, though, from being more tired and stuff, or worse?
Yes, I'm sleeping quite well, actually.
Yeah. Exhaustion, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you find the panic, though, with trying to fit everything else in, like around work? Like, the brain just doesn't have the capacity for work and life, does it?
It's horrendous. Yeah, and also at home, I don't get any extra help, and you think, right, I'm working really long hours at the moment, and so I'm helping everybody else. Everybody needs to help me now.
Yeah, they need to help with the cooking and cleaning, but it doesn't materialise, does it?
I've told you all about my 2 brick walls, one being my son, one being my husband. And I was like, talk to myself.
Yeah.
Anyway, 2 of the cats have gone to lovely homes. One of them's gone already and one's going. But Rosie has gone to somebody who will be very, very much approved of by Emily. And it's one of her really good friends, and who she loved, really, really loved her. And I know that she'd be looking after Rosie. And then Ripley's going as well, so we've just got Liam and Roxy. Thought you'd just took Liam home to play with Kevin.
Yeah, I think Simon was very close to taking Liam home to play with Kevin, to be honest with you, but no, thank you.
Anyway, that's the update on the cats. Still got 2 left.
No, that's good. I mean, it's difficult for you at the same time, isn't it? You know, as much as you joke about it, it's still very hard to give them away because they were Emily's cats, isn't it? So, you know, they are only going to very good homes.
That's why it's taken so long. It's got to be the right home.
Exactly.
And I will miss them. It's a very difficult month, and just getting through every day at a time again now, not just with work and everything. It'll be our 18th in a couple of weeks, as you know, and it's shit. So if anybody doesn't know, when me and Bec was in Spain last, we created a pebble memorial.
We did.
We cleared a space, and on a public area, you know, no permissions or anything like that. Just that it's in the view of my balcony. I want it there, so that's where I'm putting it.
It ended up being about 5 foot in size, I would say. It was probably supposed to be about half a metre, and, you know, Karen and I go big or go home, so literally it is about 5 foot long and about 5 foot wide. It's huge.
Yeah. So we had to clear the space, and then we was going to put rocks round it to define a shape. So we decided on a love heart, because that's going to be our charity emblem, the Forever Foundation. And so we went and got rocks, big like rockery stones to put round to make the thing, and then we wanted to put like pebbles, like the little garden pebbles on the base, and then I'm going to paint individual bigger pebbles with different angels' names on. So I've done 2 big ones, one for Em, one for Brad, and I've started a few, and then I varnished them, and then the day after the sun had already faded them in one day. So then I had to go to the a Spanish equivalent of B&Q and get some super duper strong varnish and do them all again. So I've only done about 4 at the moment. I've done one for my next door neighbour's wife who passed away a few years ago, so he was pleased with that. And I've done a few others left them there, and I'm going again next week and I'm going to do some more. I've got a big long list of angels' names and their ages and little things and what they'll be. Done one for a little boy called Talon, and he liked what they called the big yellow flowers, sunflowers.
Did you just ask that question? Like, honestly, I've never seen your brain work so like
surrendered. Told you.
I mean, it's like watching myself. That's what mine's doing, but I don't see it in you very often. And
I started a sentence today with the customer, and he said it's waiting for the other end of the sentence. I forgot who it was and everything and what he was doing there.
Was it you I was sitting in the car with at the weekend? I was talking to you, and then you were like, "Are you going to finish a sentence?" You know, and you think, "Oh fuck, was I talking?" I just completely forgot. My mind just turned. I wasn't even thinking of anything else. My mind just turned off, and it was like, "Did I not get to the end? Sorry, I don't even know what I was saying."
I can't remember.
It's the overwhelm, isn't it? And the grief, and it all just goes.
You can't remember what a sunflower is.
Crazy.
So that's what I'll be doing for an 18th. I'll be working on my pebbles. I don't know whether to get some balloons for 18 and set them off. I don't know whether it'll mean something or not. I don't know.
We got Chinese lanterns for Bradley's birthday and wrote messages on them and drew pictures on them. But we all ended up getting a little bit competitive. It was supposed to be just, I gave one to my brothers and like their kids and my sister, and my dad had one and Tasha, and it was just literally supposed to be just write a little message on it. And then I drew some Skyline rear lights because Bradley had a Nissan Skyline car, and then my sister-in-law Kelly was like, I know Tasha drew a frog, and then Kelly was like, I'm going into the other room, and it all just turned like real, like, professional and competitive, and everybody sat there like this, like doing their homework, like it got really, really competitive. But that was nice because it made a fun element
very
out
difficult
of it.
Situation better. Yeah,
I am pleased to say, to report back to everybody, that I did not see any huge spiders at yours.
No. At a few.
Whether there was any and you just didn't tell me when I was there. There was one in your room, granted, but whether I just didn't see any, I don't know.
Well, I'm actually wearing my sliders in the house because I don't want to stand on any. And there was a great big massive one on the bottom of the stairs, so I went and I whacked that, and then I went and sat back down. And then we're in a swarm with wasps at the moment. There was a few when you was here, weren't there? And one had come into the lounge, so I had my slider in my hand, ready to whack it if it come near me. And a spider ran over my foot that I took the slider off. It was waiting for me to take my slider off, and then it ran over my foot. It was huge. Honest to God, I think it's like the Noah's Ark with all these animals.
I'm glad I didn't see them. We're inundated with daddy long legs.
Oh,
my
right.
God, they're everywhere. Like, I mean, you look out in my garden and my grass looks like it's moving with daddy long legs. They're fucking everywhere.
Oh, wow.
You open the back door and at least 3 come in.
They traumatised me. When I was at school, I used to be scared to death of daddy long legs.
Oh, really? Yeah, we've got
not
loads
bothered about them now. It's funny how you grow out of things like that, isn't it?
Yeah. Weird.
Anyway, right.
This is supposed to be a grief podcast, not a nature podcast.
Right, so I don't think I'll do the balloons. I'll just work on my pebbles, and we've decided.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I asked Niall if there was anything he wanted to do for Em's 18th, and he looked at me just to say, "She's not here."
Yeah, why would I want to do something for
her
birthday?
I thought I just want to do something to remember. It's going to be very sad, Niall, and we want to do something. And as much as you think they're not really feeling it as much as you and stuff like that, you get the glimmer, don't you, that sometimes he went, we'll go for a curry and we'll have a lamb tikka masala, and I went, okay.
Perfect.
Oh, what a bloody good idea.
Yeah, perfect.
Because that's all what she had. Lantica masala, so that's what we'll all have.
Yeah, have an M dinner.
Yeah, and I'll take some candles to put on the table, and I'll take a
Picture.
order of service.
Yeah,
and I'll
perfect.
tell everybody in the restaurant about her.
Have some leaflets there too.
Yeah, leaflets, because it's literally around the corner from where the monument is. We're going to Punjab.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're to Punjabi Palace. And
I ate there. It was bloody lovely.
yeah, it's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, all nice.
Yeah, so we'll do that. I'm not trying to get like the curry for free or anything like that, but we might, you might feel sorry for us.
Only you. Only you. Only you. Shameless to the core.
A free Baileys or something at the end, or Dailies. It won't be a proper Baileys.
You are terrible.
Yeah, got to be. Gets me through.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly that.
So, anything else to report before we go?
Nah, the memory loss don't allow me to think of anything else. That was it. I mean, I don't ever come here with a plan to say anything. You just spark things in my head, and that's why they blurt out my mouth. Cause...
What's going to happen if I don't ignite the spark? We just sit here looking at each other.
Yeah.
It's going to be boring, isn't it? That?
Googling shit, yeah. It would just be me on my phone trying to think of something to say.
I think there's one thing that will never ever happen is that you won't have anything to say at any given time.
You know, Simon says that all the time.
God, sometimes I need a break from your voice.
Yeah, well, you've had a break this week. I've not really been at you this week.
Yeah, I even read your texts in your voice. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah, I do that when you text me, because you use words that I don't use. So then I put them in your little sentences. Like your sentence phrases, like you have tea.
Yeah. Yeah, go and have a tea now.
Yeah, I'm going to go and have dinner.
Stop trying to be posh.
It's breakfast, lunch and dinner. It always will be.
No. Breakfast, lunch and tea. Or dinner. Breakfast, dinner and tea. Sometimes your dinner's at lunch, you know, if you live up here. That'll blow your mind, won't it?
It will.
Yeah.
It will.
Dinner time. It's dinner time.
It doesn't take much to blow my mind, you know. No, it's not. It's lunchtime.
It's not. It's dinner time sometimes. Dinner time.
No.
If you're a dinner lady, you don't call people lunch ladies. It's dinner lady.
They're lunchtime supervisors. That's
no,
exactly
they're
what
not.
they
They're
are.
dinner ladies.
No, they're not. They're lunchtime supervisors.
That's just a new posh term. They've always been dinner ladies.
Okay.
You don't say, "Oh, I'm going to see the lunchtime supervisor. I need a plaster. I've cut my knee." You say, "Go and see a dinner lady."
I don't think I'd ever go to a dinner lady for that anyway, but...
well, we have to be multifunctioning dinner ladies in. The dinner ladies are also the health and safety officers. Can't beat a good dinner lady.
Multifaceted, yeah.
Yes.
Counsellor the lot.
Definitely. The playground politics they have to put up with. I've never been a dinner lady, by the way.
No, not for a ride.
So, we've got loads of guests coming up again. We've got an author from America.
Oh, yeah, we're filming that this week.
Yeah. We've got Simon, Brad's dad.
Yeah. You need to pin him down.
Yeah.
Because he'll keep getting out of it as much as he can.
Should have done it when he was drunk.
Yeah, I mean, he said he'll do it. You just, you know...
I'm going to spring it on in this weekend.
Okay.
Yeah? So you have everything ready, set up ready.
Yeah.
Yeah? So we can just spring it on him, because that'll good. We'll get the true... He won't have had time to think of anything, because he's really, really... He is a good speaker. He speaks.
Yeah, no, he does.
He gets it.
He doesn't waffle like me. He gets straight to the point.
No, he doesn't waffle. Doesn't waffle like us.
No, and his mind doesn't go off on a tangent and think of other things. He just talks about what he's supposed to.
That's because he's not on the menopause.
Do men get the menopause?
Don't know. You think sometimes they're on the period.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Don't know. Might go and Google that one later.
Yeah.
Right, on that note, I'm going off for my tea and to see if men have the menopause.
Okay.
All right. Well, we'll speak to you next time.
Okay.
All we need to do, tag.
It's grab yourself a cuppa, find a comfortable spot, and let's journey through grief together.
That's it. One of us knows. Right. Thank you very much. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.